Welcome, welcome, welcome. Aloha, all you lovely people out there today. This is Director Ivy with Reliable Aid Home Care Agency coming to you live. Yes, I am live, ready to help you guys, ready to talk to you guys about how to be a paid caregiver through long-term care Medicaid and to be able to travel with your client and get paid for it. So yeah, you guys got to be excited about that. I'm ready to talk. We have a quick intermission and then I'll be back with you guys live. Miss Ludia, you want to show them my little commercial? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that with our awesome Mr. Casey, who's always out there doing his thing? Yeah, absolutely. So, welcome to our live show today. If you're on with me, hashtag live. If not, hashtag rebroadcast. We are here, reliable aid, ready to help you guys, to show you guys what you can do, how you don't have to feel restricted, how you don't have to feel how you can't do anything throughout the course of the day or the week, with your client. We're here to show you all of that, how to get paid through Medicaid as a caregiver and be able to travel with your client. Now, how fabulous is that? So, first thing, to be a paid caregiver, what do you have to do? You have to sign up. So, if you have a client that has long term care Medicaid, then what you want to do is give us a call, 302 689 3240. Absolutely. I'm going to say it again, 302 689 3240. You see it right there on the screen. You give us a call, and one of our dedicated, knowledgeable team members will help you get navigated through the program. Some people think, "Oh my gosh, I got to do this, I got to do that. It's too overwhelming. I don't have time." Well, with our agency, we're here to help you and to help you support that. So we'll walk you through the process. We'll let you know the financial responsibilities of it, how to navigate through it, where you can go to get it done. So first off, yeah, to be a paid caregiver, you would need to obviously apply with us. And then once your application is accepted, then you would need to go get a background check. So we would tell you to go to the BCC. Now we're here in Delaware, the state of Delaware, the first state. But if you're out of state, if you're watching from another place, hashtag let me know where you're from, but we'll see if we can help you as well. But most Medicaid places, the the process is probably the same. You for the agency itself, the agency may require other things for you to do as well. But for the state, you need a background check. So you would go to the background check center, you would get that completed. Then we would also need you to go get a physical, a full physical. You would have to get a two-step PPD. Now, some people go and they get the PPD, but they forget that it's two-step. Now, our paperwork clearly outlines that you need a two-step PPD. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're going to get it done. So you get your two-step PPD. Then you need some references, not your family members, but maybe a place that you've worked in the past, or another professional reference that you can use. So yeah, we need two references. We have to have your resume. Yeah, those some good things that you have to get done. Not very time consuming, if you plan it out. So, planning it out is crucial because then you don't get yourself frustrated. So remember those things. You need the background check, you need a physical, you need a two-step PPD, you need references, and you need a resume. We'll even help you, with the resume. I know some of those, maybe other agencies, out there, there's several of them, but we, as Reliable Aid, as your number one, home care agency, will help you with that as well. We'll help you, get your resume, completed to make sure that it's accurate. Some people just don't have time for all of that. So then they just decide, I don't want to be a caregiver because, you know, I don't want to go through all of this. So, hi, funny animal clues. Oh, you have not. Really? Okay. Well, I apologize for that. I we are definitely here for you. Did you email me? Because if you did, I apologize for not getting back to you. As you can see, I am traveling, but it doesn't matter because, again, like I was just sharing with you, as a caregiver, you can travel with your client, and be paid for it. So, but you got to become a paid caregiver first. So, but we want you guys to see that, we never want a person, our caregivers, which we call them direct care workers, how to, we want to let you guys know that you don't have to feel stuck, or feel like I can't go anywhere and do anything. If you're with your client, if your client is getting you a trip somewhere, then yeah, you just need to let us know, because then we'll give you the process on how to let your case manager know. And then yeah, you can travel with your client. Keenan Seth 4627 says, do you need to have experience to be a paid caregiver? Yes, but it's not just a typical experience of, maybe have working with another agency. For us, that is good. That is good. We like you to have some kind of experience, but the biggest experience and things that qualifies you to be a paid caregiver is patience, is understanding, is willingness, is discipline, is time management. What do you guys think about those things? Hashtag live, hashtag rebroadcast. Those things, those qualities are crucial for your client. That makes for a good experience every day, because you're going to run into things with your client that you may not really be sure about, because your client could be one day, they could be happy and joyful. And then the next day, they're what? They're frustrated, they're crying, they're maybe confused. So, and even when those things happen, give us a call, give the office a call, 302-689-3240. Because what? We're still here for you. We're still going to help you navigate even through that process. So we understand that being a paid caregiver is a important job. It's just not a job to get a paycheck. It is a real job because we're helping real people that have real issues. So, but remember, we can do all of those things, and you might be doing those things now and not even being compensated for them. So, what would we like you to do? We would like you, if you're in the state of Delaware, we would like you to give us a call at 302-689-3240. And again, one of our knowledgeable staff members, that answer the phone will be happy to help you, get started. So they'll walk you through the process. They'll let what you need to do to become a paid caregiver. We want to speak to your client, especially if it's a family member. We want to speak to your client. So, we can let them know what steps they have to take as well. That's going to be my live tomorrow, talking about, the client side, and what you need to do as the caregiver, what you need to do for the client if you're a family caregiver. If you're not a family caregiver, but you know a person that needs some help, around the house, with light housekeeping, meal preparation, helping them to schedule doctor's appointments, cooking, laundry, just the basics, that we call them ADLs, which means activities of daily living, but we want to help them with their ADLs, so absolutely, give us a call, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's really important. How about that? Live hashtag San Antonio, Texas. All right. High five, Texas. Absolutely. Texas is one of my favorite states. I think we may even come on down there and help you guys out down there. We love it at Keenan Seth 4627. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you so much. Again, I am Director Ivy coming to you live. I am in the great state of Hawaii right now, but it doesn't matter because guess what? You could be in Hawaii, or you could be in Texas, or you could be somewhere else. As long as you're traveling, you know, as long as you're traveling with your client and the case manager knows, then yeah, we'll do the proper steps, to get you there. So at Funny Animal Clue says, "Hey, Director Ivy, I emailed you, but I want to make sure I got your email correct. So can you please display it on the screen for me, just in case I put it in wrong? I send 3 emails. I must have put it in wrong." Miss Ludia, if you can put my email in the screen, it is, there we go. Look at that. ReliableAidInc@gmail.com. Put it in there. Me and Mr. KC will be happy to help you, give you some clues, give you some ideas, give you some strategies maybe on, how to, get your own agency. And that is awesome, for people that want to take that next step, and be out there to really support a bigger number, of people. That is what, Mr. KC and I did. We got started. And guess what? When we first started, we were the caregivers. And you know what? We were happy to do it. So even in that, you have to be ready and available, because sometimes you may have a caregiver that calls out. You, as the caregiver, if you call out, if you're not feeling well, especially if you're not a family member and you're actually traveling to people's houses every day, give us a call, because we want to make sure we try to get somebody else in there. And when we first started, guess who was going in the houses? Me. And guess who else was going into the houses? Mr. KC. So yeah, we're not dictators. We're not just hearers. We're doers of the word. We're out there. With our clients and with our caregivers. Because we want to be a support to them all the way around. What do y'all think about that? Hashtag live, hashtag, rebroadcast. Don't forget to like us. Don't forget to subscribe, to our YouTube channel. We want to know who's out there. We want to know who we can help, again, even if you're not in a different state, but being a caregiver is so fulfilling, but in order to be that, in order to be able to really help your client and navigate through all of that, yeah, you have to become a paid caregiver. And to be a paid caregiver, it starts with an application with us. Then we'll let you know. We'll give you a little paper. It outlines all of that, what you need to do. You need to go get a background check. You need to go get your physical done. You need to go get your two-step PPD. You need a resume. You need references. It may sound like a lot, but it's really not. And we are here to help you. This is why we go live every day, because we want to bring people in. Let me see. Mr. Keenan said 4627 says, "After you're approved, how long does the process take to become a paid caregiver for your loved one?" Well, some of that depends on you, but after you're approved, so you have to get your side done, which could take maybe up to 2 weeks. I know for us, we let everybody know. If your client is on service, if we have the client's referral and authorization, then you could probably get a paycheck in like 2 weeks. So that's why we try to help navigate you guys through the process so it's not tedious or overwhelming. And at the same time, you can get a paycheck, fairly quickly. So we work with both sides at the same time. We work with the caregiver and we work with the client. So while we're telling you what things to get, like I said, the BCC, the background check, the physical, the two-step PPD, the references and the resumes, while we're helping you on that side, we also have a team of people that's helping on the other side with the client. So we're letting them know, we're talking to the client, we're going out there, we're getting the assessment done, with the client. Well, first off, we're letting the insurance company know, because the insurance companies are crucial too. So that's the Medicaid portion of it. So that's Delaware First, that's AmeriHealth Caritas, or that is Highmark Health Options. So if your client has one of those insurances, then yeah, give us a call at 302-689-3240. Because while we're helping you to become a paid caregiver on that side, we're also helping the client navigate through that process. So we don't want it to be tedious or overwhelming either way, that you go. We are here, we are a holistic agency. We don't just sign you up and leave you out there. We get you going and then we keep you going, because as a caregiver, you get tired, you get frustrated, you get overwhelmed, so we have people in the backdrop, to even help you, with that. But to answer your question, Keenan said, yeah, we could get you, it could probably be like 2 weeks or so, if we could get it all simultaneously, that is the idea, that is the goal, but some of that is up to the caregiver, how quickly you get through the process and get the things done that you need to be qualified to be a paid caregiver. And then on the other side, that's why we work with the client as well, because we have to get the referral from the insurance company first. And then we go out, we do the assessment with the client and all of that good stuff. But again, I'm going to share that with you in full detail tomorrow. So what does that mean? That means you got to tune in with Director Ivy again. You got to tune in with me live. You know what I mean? Don't forget to like our and subscribe to our page on YouTube. And then, watch the videos. Hashtag live if you're with me right now, or hashtag, rebroadcast. We want to be here. Like I said, we're located, our offices are in Delaware currently, but we're going to be expanding. You never know what state. We might be in your state. We might be in Texas. We might be in Virginia. We might be in the tri state area. It doesn't matter. We're here to help you guys. We want to let you know how to navigate through this process, to let you know it's not overwhelming, it's not time consuming. And more importantly, if you're already doing it, why not be compensated for it? Some people have said, oh, I don't want to get paid. That's my family member. I'm going to do it anyway. And you know what? That is great. That is noble. I have done that myself. I know Mr. KC has done that. We're actually still doing it, right now and not getting paid for it, But if you have the ability to get paid, then yeah, put that little extra in your pocket, be able to help your client, especially if it's a family client, be able to help them a little bit more. So whatever it is, even if you're not sure, give us a call, give us a call. That's where it starts. 302-689-3240. I just am excited to be here with you guys today. I know I'm praying that you guys will learn something. Each and every day is a learning experience. It's an opportunity to be better. It's an opportunity to help your client maybe in a way that you wasn't helping them before. It's an opportunity to be a caregiver, and not even realize that, hey, I can get compensated for this. And guess what? We even help the Hispanic population. We just had our Hispanic liaison on the line, speaking Spanish, to caregivers. So yeah, we want to help everybody. So we're broadening our spectrum, here. So even if you know somebody that's bilingual, but they only feel comfortable with really speaking Spanish, have them give us a call. They can still give us a call, 302-689-3240, and we're going to still get them connected. We're going to still get them with our, Hispanic liaison, and she's going to walk them through the process. So yeah, we help financially challenged family members to become paid caregivers through the Medicaid Long-Term Care Healthcare Program so that everybody can be supported. So again, even if you feel like you need the check, or you're a caregiver that's already helping your client and not being compensated for it, give us a call. Reliable aid. We are called reliable for a reason. You know why? Because we rely on helping others. And we know that you guys, as the clients and the caregivers, rely on us, to help you get started and to help you keep going. So look at that. It's a win win. We're helping one another. And how can you? There's nothing better than that, So we're not getting you started and then leaving you out there, because there's still things that you have to do annually to stay a paid caregiver. And then there's things on the client side, that we have to do to help them remain in the long-term care program on our side. So, we're here to help one another. We want you to succeed, because when you succeed, then we succeed. So, and then, success is a great thing. So I thank you guys for tuning in with me today. Again, this is Director Ivy coming to you live with reliable aid on how to be a paid caregiver and travel. Be a paid caregiver through the long-term care Medicaid program and be able to travel. So again, you get your things going, and then what? If your client decides they want to take a little vacation somewhere, you would give us a call. We would set that stuff up for you. And then, yeah, you and your client can both travel. So another win-win. I didn't gave y'all two win-wins today. Okay. So I love you guys. Tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And Director Ivy will show you and talk to you about the client side of it, how the client can travel and you can travel with the client. So stay tuned with us, you guys. I appreciate you as always. You can give us a call at 302-689-3240, hashtag live, hashtag rebroadcast. Like us on our YouTube channel, subscribe to us, send us emails, give us a call. We have a awesome, knowledgeable team in the backdrop who is also reliable, that's going to be here to help you and navigate you through the program. So you guys stay safe and blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right.